Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am Mental Wellness Cindy, and on my channel I talk about, I talk about a lot of subjects, particularly subjects around how to look after your mental health. I also talk about parenting, and I like to do beauty stuff because it helps with my own mental health. So thank you for tuning in. If it's your first time, please subscribe so you don't miss any videos. If you are a returning subscriber or viewer, thank you so much for viewing. It's very good to have your support. Today, I wanted to talk about why it is important to tell your children that you love them. And it's not easy for everybody to do that because not everybody grew up in a family where their parents or relatives told them that they loved them. And in some families, people grew up where they were showered with so much love and affection they didn't know what to do with themselves. So why is it important that you actually say the words to your children and you tell them that you love them? It's important because sometimes we make the assumption that just because we do loads of things for our children, they're going to know from that we love them. But that's not always the case because people don't interpret actions in in the same way. So what I guess is what research has shown is when children get older, particularly when they live in households where they're not told by their parents that they love them, they end up in therapy saying, things don't work out for me, relationships don't work out for me, because my parents didn't tell me that they loved me. So they didn't have that role model for what love is, and it affects them in a lot of ways. So why is it important to tell your children that you love them? It's important because it instills courage. It enables children to feel safe, and they feel safe to experiment, to try out new things in life because they know that they have that unconditional love and base in their lives. It helps with building trust because when you know that somebody loves you, you're easily able to trust them. It helps with helping them with their future relationships because then they know what a model for a good relationship is, what love is, because they've been shown that throughout their whole lives. It also helps with just their mental health, self-esteem, wellness, all of those good things. But of course, when you tell your children that you love them, it can't just be saying it for the sake of saying it. It has to be heartfelt. It has to be coming from a real place. It has to actually mean something. And you can also do other things because it's not just about saying the words I love you, it's also the actions that come with those words. So it is things like listening, actually listening when your child wants to speak to you, turning your head and listening to what they have to say, and when they want to talk to you, just being there for them. For that child to know that they're not alone because they know that if they've got something to say to you, you're listening in a helpful way. You can also do things like loads of cuddles and kisses and just holding hands with your kids, because just having that physical affection with your children is also very important. Also, spending time with your children, spending time just reading stories, playing games, going on outings, just doing activities together and just making the space where, you are actually paying attention to each other. And it's not easy for everybody, especially when you have not come from that background where you were told by your own parents that they loved you, to do that. But, when you know that it can have an impact on your children and their future relationships, I think, when you have that level of self-awareness, it's important to then find ways of overcoming that barrier, Because I think for me, particularly for people that come from African backgrounds, where that's a fox outside, if you can hear that, where your parents never, ever tell you, oh my God, that's a fox. Never ever tell you that they love you. It is a very foreign concept. But of course, you know, you have your own feelings towards your children, so you can develop those skills, because it is a skill, being able to be selfless enough to share how you're feeling with your children, to enable them to develop their full potential. Oh my God, like that is really, I live in the middle of London, sorry to divert, and it is an urban fox jungle. Like seriously, if you come out at this time of night when it's dark, there's foxes everywhere. It's actually quite scary. So those are the realities of living in London. So just to conclude, that it is important, and it's not just for your children, it's also for the other people around you in your life. So letting those people know, actually telling them the words, I love you, spending time with them, listening to them, and just being there for them is also important for the development of your relationships. I hope you found this useful, and I hope you, if you're not the kind of person who's been saying I love you to your children, you start trying to implement it. Obviously, don't go overboard. Do it slowly, in increments, in the way that you feel comfortable with, but also in a way that is genuine, because the most important thing is it has to be genuine. It can't just be saying it with no feeling and no real intention behind it. And I hope that it makes a difference to your lives, but also to your children's lives. So if you found this content useful, helpful, then please like the video, subscribe, and also watch my other videos. And I hope you find those useful as well. But thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.